Hi, everybody. It's Randy Hilarski here, coming at you from Panama with your COVID-19 slash coronavirus update. What's going on in this country? Uh, it's getting a little bit restricted. Things are getting wild. The police are preparing. I think we could have rioting within days. And anybody who's lived here long enough knows that it's a regular occurrence, especially in the province of Cologne. The last time we had riots in the city was, I think it was 2011 um, under Martinelli. I remember they closed down the city. They didn't close down the city, my fault. There was blockages on the road coming from the interior, so there was no food, there was no produce, there was no meat or anything in the grocery stores, local produce, and it caused a lot of headaches. It was due to some stuff with the mining and um, the dam that was being built on native lands. Okay, so that happened, and there was plenty of rioting. It was wild. So I think we're coming to that again. Um, just people need to be prepared. But we're under toque de queda, which is Panama's version of martial law. The differences in Panama is that Panama does not have a military force. We are police only. Yes, there are police that are trained like military, but everybody is first a police officer. That makes sense. Take it from me as a former veteran or a military veteran, we are not trained to handle the civilian population. You do not want military on your streets enforcing these restrictions. Look at countries like Ecuador. You see what's happening there. The military slash police are beating the crap out of people during their version of toque de queda. But here in Panama, it's much more civilized, but they still throw them in a cage. It's coronavirus. These people are on the streets and you're throwing them all in a cage together. Makes no sense, but it's government. What do you expect? So I'm going to share my screen and I want to show you the cases, what's going on here in Panama. So this is at panamaps.tools/COVID-19. If you want to look it up yourself, I'll leave the link down below in the video, down below the video. This shows how many confirmed cases we have, 558. We've had 8 deaths. We've had 2 recover. It just seems really odd, these numbers. I don't know. The deaths, though, most of the people have pre-existing conditions. Some had diabetes. We had one. She was a doctor, and she had a kidney transplant. So her immune system was down. For those of you who do not know, I'm a nurse. I was a former Navy hospital corpsman. I was an EMT. I have lots of experience in emergency medicine and psych, because that was what I did towards the end of my career. So I do know a little bit. I don't know. I'm not a virologist or anything like that, but the cases I think are going to increase, especially when the test kits arrive. We don't have a lot of test kits yet, but what Panama is doing is they're stockpiling chloroquine. If you guys have read and seen anything, chloroquine has been shown to help with the treatment. And I'll put the link to my video at the end of this one about an interview I did with a gentleman named Adrian Bai talking about chloroquine and how it helps and how the Koreans have been using it to slow down their growth of COVID-19 in their country. So you see the country, let me pull back here. Most of the cases are in the capital, then all along the main highway that goes to Costa Rica. So the main highway goes right through here. Where do I live? I live just on the other side of the canal in the old Howard Air Force Base, Fort Kobe. I live right here. I'm glad we live here. We live in the jungle. We got, everyone's distanced here. We keep to ourselves. People go out for walks with their dogs in the morning. It's pretty nice. Everyone's staying calm, and I'm thankful I live in a gated community. with surveillance and those kind of things. But at 5 p.m. today, the police were driving around with their lights and sirens, warning everyone to get back in their house. And you could see that video of mine. I recorded it on Twitter at Randy Hilarski. It's whatever. I'm always trying to get people to do things. As you can tell, I'm not a fan of government. So after 5 p.m., you have to be in your house, toca de queda. They have special times when you're allowed to go out. So I'm going to tell you those right now. It goes by the last digit of your cedula. Here's my cedula. And my number is a 7. So that means I can go out from 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. But I'm not allowed to go to a store until 7 a.m. So the grocery stores and banks are adjusting. They have Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. For some banks, it's open in the evenings or after lunch into the evening. And Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, they're going to be open in the early morning until about lunchtime to accommodate those of us who have morning hours. So that works out pretty good. Now, if you're over 65 years old in Panama, you have 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Irregardless of the last number of your cedula, because they want the older folks to be able to be comfortable and get what they need. So I think they should have given them 3 hours, but I know I could handle everything in 2 hours, but most people in Panama, if you don't have a car, it can get, you're going to be waiting in line for at least an hour. I'm seeing these lines go around the buildings, especially at these lower priced grocery stores. It's not going to be easy. I hope that, the police are going to be pretty understanding, I'm sure. They're understanding during the day, but at night, they're not going to be understanding at all. So I'm sure they're going to give you some leniency. Don't freak out. One thing I did see today was that people were freaking out about, they're saying, one official was saying, oh, you can't even walk your dog. And then some police responded, somebody from the police department said, yes, you can walk your dog. These politicians, these unelected officials, they really like their power, don't they? So these are some important notes that I have. And I'm just going to read this for you. Panama friends, important for all foreigners, residents or not, the last number on your passport is what is to be used to determine your hours that you can be out. Now let's make that clear. If you have a cedula like me, it means you are Panama permanent resident. I'm through marriage, so I have a different card than somebody who has a permanent residency card. There's a difference. Once you have your permanent cedula, it's a permanent ID, and that'll qualify. But if you're a permanent resident, I recommend you still carry your passport with you. The permanent residency card does not look the same as the cedula. They're two different cards. So if you live here, you know which one you have. Everyone aims to get the cedula. So once you have your cedula, that's what you carry. Before that, you carry your passport. Do not rely on your permanent residency card. It's just a temporary card. Okay, use your passport. Oh, okay. On Wednesday, that was today, we have 2 hours to shop, run errands, and get home or face fines. This is some good news for people that maybe are struggling financially, who lost their jobs, that if you use less than 300 kilowatts a month, you will receive a 50% reduction on your electric bill. And if it's between 300 and 1,000 kilowatts, you receive a 30% reduction on your electric bill. So for us, we were about 350 kilowatts a month. So $90 a month is what our electric bill was. Now it'll be down to 60. And that's cool. It's a nice little break. For some people, that's a lot. A 20-pound bag of rice in Panama is about $12. That's at Reba Smith. That's the top of the line grocery store. So I imagine you can get a 20-pound bag of rice for $10 at certain stores. That's 3 months supply worth of rice for us, if we, with our $30 savings. Now for our old house, we used to only spend $25. So that would be about $7 or $8. So one big bag of rice. Also, many banks have announced no payments for 90 days. I would check with your individual bank what the rules are. Banco General and Caja de Oros have been great. I think Caja de Oros is offering 4 months. check first. You know, the rules are changing all the time. It's very liquid right now. It's going back and forth. Now, Banco Delta, which is who we have our car loan through, Banco Delta says, yeah, you don't have to make a payment, but it's still going to show up negatively on your credit report. So be careful out there. If your credit is important to you, I would still make your payments. Okay, so that's about it. Let me unshare the screen here. Just be careful out there and stay home. Do I want to go out? Hell yes, I want to go out. Is my 2-year-old driving me freaking crazy? Yeah, he's driving me crazy. Do I want to take him to the jungle gym and run him like a dog and make him pass out like I normally do? Yeah, I do. Do I want to take him to Chuck E. Cheese? Yeah, I want to take him to Chuck E. Cheese. But we can't. So we're doing lots of content online to have this memorialized forever. And someday when my son is in his 90s, which will be equivalent to 50 today, he's going to be able to look back at all this content that we've created, that his parents created, and see all this cool things that we've done during this huge coronavirus outbreak. This is going to be one that's going to go down for the ages. And the internet has given me the capability to create content, and I'll forever be immortalized as the guy talking about Panama COVID-19 updates on YouTube. All right. Thank you, everybody. And if you like this content, please share it and subscribe. And I promise I will be back with any great news to share with you. Cheers.